Alright, hello everybody and welcome yourselves to the 3,000 subscriber Q&A special. Got a very different setup as per usual, like different from the usual I should say. For this Q&A video, hopefully the background is somewhat interesting. Got the logo over here and PC over there. And yeah, you guys left a whole shit ton of comments, not even exaggerating. There's over 100 comments on the video. There's 111 comments, and we had over 45 questions, almost 50 questions, and we had over 88 entrants into the Win a Tin contest for 3,000 subscribers, because we gave away 2 of each of these. We gave away 2 Kaiba and 2 Yugi 2016 Megatins, and we have the winners. I just put everybody's name into the random name picker, like drawing from a hat, but it's more random and it's online, so it saves time and paper. But I've got the 4 winners, and I'm gonna go ahead and announce them now, and then we're gonna get into the Q&A portion where I've got pretty much the comments all just listed here on the comment section, and I'll go through the questions for you guys. So without further ado, our winners are TheHannessexy, David Volkmann, Andy99809, and last but not least, TeamMindMaster. Congratulations to the 4 of you. Again, that's TheHannessexy, David Volkmann, Andy999809, and TeamMindMaster. Congratulations, guys. You are the winners of the 2016 Megatins, the 4 of them. Now, what you guys need to do is, as fast as you can, pause the video, send me a DM either on Twitter or at WinnerKills. Send me a DM there, or you could just send me a YouTube message, and in that message I need you to list your full address and everything, so I have all enough information to mail the tin to you. Not that I'm going to come to your house or anything, but I want to send you guys your tins. And also, in that message, leave what tin you want. If you want a Kaiba tin, let me know. If you want a Yugi tin, let me know. But keep in mind, if you sit on it, some people might have already messaged me saying which one they want, and you might not be able to get the one exactly that you want. So just keep that in mind, and try to be quick about it. And I'm using my mic with my camera, which I've never done before, so hopefully the audio sounds a little bit better. But we're going to go ahead and get it into the first question I see here, and a lot of most of the questions, some of them are like 2 different people ask like the same question, so I'm just gonna answer, you know, the better of the 2, and hopefully it answers both the questions for you guys. So, and somebody else asked this. I'll try to put up the comment snippets in the video so you guys can see it. Jester206 asks, if you had a chance to do a collaboration with a Yugi-tuber or Yugi-tubers, who would they be and why? And I'm pretty sure somebody else asked this question. I'll be able to show you guys in the video, hopefully. But that's a good question. I've actually haven't done any collaborations yet. I've been featured on Team Avalanche's channel twice, actually, so if you want to check that out, you can check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. But I would love to do a collaboration with Glasgow YGO. I love his content. I love his accent. His accent's great. I love the Scottish/Irish accent. Probably one of my favorites. I just love his content. I'd love to do like a commentary with him. Also, the Card Guys or House of Champions. I love those channels as well. Just awesome channels that I would love to do a collab with, because, you know, I just love their content. Hell, even Lithium 2300, I love his content. I'd love to do a collab with him. There's a whole bunch of people I'd love to do a collab with, but one mainly would probably be Glasgow. Another one might be actually Kanye West 315. Dude, if me and him did a Mermaid deck profile together, the internet would explode, because everybody would be so wet from how much Mermaid we'd be talking. So probably Kanye West 315, Glasgow YGO, maybe Lithium, yeah, and House of Champs and the Card Guys. Like I said, I'd love to do anything remotely with those guys. Just want to put that out there. So that, hopefully that answers your question for who I'd want to do a collab with in the future. just because I love their content. Probably some of my favorite on YouTube. Next question that I see in the comments here from Eric Rubin, who says, did you play Yu-Gi-Oh since school, or when did you start playing? Also a good question. I actually started playing Yu-Gi-Oh a long time ago when I was really young, as I'm sure most of us did. People who grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s. I started playing when I was very young. My brother got me into it because, you know, one of his friends brought him the original Kaiba and Yugi structure deck the one day. I like literally came down the street and like, hey, I bought these at Target. You want to play? It was that type of deal, I guess. And then I eventually got into it, played for a few years. Not years, I should say. Maybe played as a young kid, like collecting cards and stuff. Trying to play in tournaments. Didn't know what was legal. Got my ass kicked. And I got out of the game for like 7 years until I picked it back up again in like 6th grade with my one friend who I'm no longer friends with, but we played for a little bit, and back right when 5Ds came out, and I thought the synchros were crazy, and then I got out of the game again until mid 2014 is when I started playing again. So I've been playing since like nonstop since mid 2014, so over 2 years now I've been playing consistently and competitively, like actually playing at tournaments, going to events and stuff, at least trying to go to events. So yeah, that's kind of like my history with Yu-Gi-Oh! And when I've been playing and when I haven't been playing. So hopefully that answers your question, Eric. Alright guys, so our next question comes from Castle Cage. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. C-I-E-G-E. Like I said, I'll post like the snippet of the comment somewhere if I can. If you weren't playing Mermaids, what deck would you be playing? Well, that is also a good question. I just like Mermaids right now because, one, the deck looks beautiful. I've had the deck a long time. I feel like it's the deck that I know the best. But if that deck got stolen from me, I'd be very upset. But I'd probably be playing Citadel Trains as my only alternative, just because that deck's also fun. I really like playing that deck. Or ABCs, which the structure deck is now available at my local card shop today as I'm recording this. So the plan was to go get 3 of those. So I'd probably be playing ABC or Citadel Trains if I wasn't playing Mermaid. So hopefully that answers your question, Mr. Castle C. I don't know how to pronounce the last part of it. Alright, so the next question comes from FattyWatty66, who asks, what's my all-time favorite deck? Well, that is also a good question. I played a lot of decks over the past few years that have actually been like coherently like in the game, like knowing in and outs of it. And I would have to say my favorite deck of all time, like it's a tough choice, like I like a lot of decks like almost equally. I would have to say it would probably be Necroz. Like I absolutely love Necroz. The short time I got to play it at full power, it was absolutely amazing. And like I said, like a lot of decks are at the same level, so I'd probably have to put Mermaid up there too. Mermaid and Necroz being like on the same level, but I'd probably put Necroz a little bit higher because I love the way the deck plays, the artwork, the story behind the archetype, the fact that it was a ritual archetype. Like I just love the deck so much, and that's why I probably put it as my all-time favorite. So hopefully that answers your question, FattyWatty66. All right, next question comes from a man whose name I literally cannot pronounce because I don't know what that is. It looks Russian to me. So to answer your question, which is what is your most hated deck to play against? Well, I'll tell you what my most hated deck to play against is. It actually isn't like any specific deck, but if I had to choose one, like any deck that plays freaking loads of traps, dude, it gets me so aggravated. Skillless decks, I guess most people call them that. I'd probably have to say Yosenju Demise. I absolutely despise that deck to the freaking core. Like I wish Konami would just have never printed those cards ever, and I'm so sick and tired of seeing all the salty Yosenju players at these locals I go to who try to go undefeated with a deck because all they're doing is sitting behind their traps the whole time, and when they lose they get super salty and they complain about the deck they're playing against, when in turn it's their deck that's fucking stupid, not the one they just lost to. Like I remember one time this guy was arguing with this Blue Eyes player because like he's like, oh, I'm so sick of this deck. It's like you're playing the worst deck that could have ever been created. Like, I'm sorry to anybody who plays Yosenju. Nothing against you. I just absolutely hate the deck. And I hate its playstyle. So hopefully that answers your question, my man. Next question. Alright, next question comes from Eggaman. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Eggaman or Edgeman. What's your favorite archetype, and for what archetype do you want to get some support? That's a good question. So what is my favorite archetype, and what archetype do I want to get more support? I would say Mermail. Like Atlantean Mermail is like being one of my favorite archetype, even though it's like two archetypes mixed together. I really like that archetype a lot. And I would like to get more support. Maybe not Atlanteans, because they just got Atlantean Prince. But maybe if Mermail got one more card, and then a lot of people are going to like shoot me for that, saying this, like, oh, Mermail needs more support. Maybe if they got like a tuner that wasn't Diva, that was maybe like a level 3 or 2 tuner, or level, yeah, to kind of like go with Megalo and Teus, maybe a level 10 like Synchro monster as well to go along with that. And this is like primarily for Mermails, not Atlantis, because Atlanteans got Neptibus, which so happens to work well with Mermails. But like, I would say Mermails as a separate archetype, I would say I want them to get a new piece of support. But since they kind of got new support, sort of, I would say Trains. I'd like to see Trains also get new support. I don't know if they're actually getting any more support, but, you know, more support for Trains would be very cool. All right, guys, so for the next question, Gajeel Red Fox asks, what are my top 5 most hated cards and decks to face against? Keep the videos coming, my dude. Been watching for a while. You grew so fast. Well, I appreciate that. Basically, I already answered like part of that question in the previous question. What's my most hated deck to play against? But if I would say my top 5 most hated cards and decks to face against, like I said, Yosenju, like any deck that plays heavy amounts of traps. So like I said, Yosenju, Clifforts. I hate playing against like Synchro Fusionist deck, like Hand Loop stacks, even though I like playing them myself. Domain Monarch is be number 4, and I would say Burning Abyss, especially like maybe not now, but like older Burning Abyss that would just float and float and float and float and then trap you to death. I kind of didn't really like playing against that deck. And then top 5 hated cards to face against, or 5 hated cards, I would say like Vanity's Emptiness, Vanity's Emptiness, Vanity's Emptiness, Vanity's Emptiness, and Vanity's Emptiness. So hopefully that answers your question, Gajeel. Alright, so the next question comes from Peridox, who asks, so Winter Kills, why did you choose to structure your videos in the style normal post commentary over feature matches? ? Well, that is a good question, my man. And the one reason I started doing post commentary was mainly because sometimes when me and my friends like playtest, we just talk like idiots, and I don't think anybody would want to just hear us talk like idiots. So I was like, I'll just commentate over it, and maybe people will like that. And a lot of people did like that, and I'm really grateful for all the support on all the commentary, post commentary videos, because I like doing them. I feel like I'm some sort of sport announcer, and I'm like some professional like Yu-Gi-Oh analysis announcer, which I don't think I am, and it's just fun. And I think it shows I just put more effort than just like, okay, record, upload, and then be done with it. I don't know. If there are people who do that, that's fine. Some people just have it better than others. Like, some people will start like that. Like, I don't mind seeing videos without any commentary or fancy life points at all, usually, if they're like a tournament setting. And, but like if it's in, you know, here, or sometimes when I record at my house, just me playing my brother or something, and it's just, the only sound is just us talking occasionally, it's kind of just boring, so I figured throwing commentary over top of it would make it at least more interesting for the average person to watch. So hopefully that answers your question, Mr. Peridox. Alright, so we got a question here from the Anthem of Our Lives. It says he wants a tin, and then in parentheses Goldfish Show. That was pretty funny, gave me a laugh. But his question is, what was your favorite deck back in the days? Mine is DDT. Really loved it. Grats anyways. So basically, I don't know what DDT is. I thought you were talking about DDD, but since you said back in the day, I'm assuming you're talking about like past. And I did play in a lot of the older formats, like 2002, 2004, but I was really young, so I didn't really play. But my brother had this Chaos Beatdown deck, and I would have to say that would be my favorite deck from way back in the day is Chaos Beatdown, just because Yada Lock and Blackluster Soldier and the Dragon, which is banned over here still. Those two cards, like, that deck was just retarded back then, and that's one of the reasons why, like, Yada Locking somebody was just crazy. And I remember I tried to build a deck with that in it. I went to a tournament and I summoned it on somebody and they like freaked out and they're like, whoa, that card's banned. I had no idea it was banned. But I don't know, I was just probably the only reason I really like that deck because Yada Lock was just retarded. So hope that answers your question, sir. Alright, so the next question comes from TOTOTODI. Weird name. It says best wishes from Germany. Thank you, Germany. Check your channel every day. You want a 10. What is your first Yu-Gi-Oh tournament experience? I still know or still remember, as I'm assuming you're asking. My first tournament experience, and I can't really recall back when I was like 6 or 7, because I wouldn't really call that a tournament experience, because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing at those tournaments, and I just lost to a lot of the older people who were there playing, and just got my free pack and left. But yeah, my most recent first tournament experience was when I really got back into the game in early 2014. I went to my local card shop and I'm like, do you guys still have Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments here? And they're like, yeah, at 6 o'clock. And I was Wednesday at that day, I kind of remembered, and I sat out in the car and I waited with my brother because he was driving me at the time because I couldn't drive yet, and he was you know, trying to build spell books at the time because he really wanted to play that deck, and I had thrown together Cyber Dragons as my deck to play against, and I thought I knew the deck really well. I'm like, Cyber Twin OTK with limiter removal, I'm like, that's how my deck wins. My deck was horrible though, and I ended up playing against one person. It was a 2-man tournament. I don't even know if you want to call it a tournament. But I came there, somebody called the shop in advance saying, is there anybody there for a tournament? And one person came in, and we ended up playing for 8 packs of Dragons of Legend 1. Sorry about that. And first place would get 5, second would get 3, so I know, right? Busted tournament, $5 entry. And we played 3 best 2 out of 3 matches, and he ended up beating me playing some, like, weird Blue Eyes Dragon deck. And I thought, like, I was going to win that tournament for sure with Cyber Dragons. I was just so confident in myself. And I thought, first of all, there was going to be way more people there, but there wasn't. And I pulled a Soul Charge out of my pack, and I was like, wow, this card is retarded. I didn't know what it did at the time, but my brother, like, took it out of my hands. He's like, this card's crazy, because he'd been watching videos about it and stuff online, just kind of get reacclimated with the game himself. But now me and him are really good friends. I see him almost every week at locals. So that locals has kind of grown from the 2 of us, and then eventually expanded upwards of 25 plus people at the tournament, and it sadly dwindled down to not much nowadays because of competition. But yeah, that's my first tournament experience that I can still remember as of recently, as in 2.5 years ago. So hopefully that answers your question. Alright, so for our next question comes from Note the King of Thieves, who says, found you through Joe Grizz, and that was an amazing find. Thank you, sir. My Q&A question, what was your favorite and least favorite formats during your time in the game? Well, I would say my favorite format goes to right after Duelist Alliance. Right when Shadal was out, BA was out, Teller Knight was out. I was playing Teller Knights, and I think around that same format I was playing Burning Abyss also, and happened to be also one of my favorite decks of all time. If I forgot to mention it in the previous question, Burning Abyss, I absolutely love that deck. Yeah, that was probably my favorite format because I loved playing against Shadal, I love playing Teller Knights, love playing BA. I just love those 3 decks that have spawned out of that box set, Duelist Alliance. And the crazy thing is, if you think about it, Duelist Alliance format is still affecting us today. We still have Pendulums. Pendulums came out in Duelist Alliance. Shadal has found a new home in Trains. We still see BA prevalent, and Stellar Knights are still a thing. So that's why I really like that format, because it's so pivotal in changing the way the game was played, essentially. And my most hated format, I would say, now that I can recall it finally, would probably be right when I got back in the game and a lot of people were playing Hat. Hands, Artifacts, Trap Tricks. Just a very stun deck that was so annoying to play against and I would constantly lose to. So I'd say Hat format would probably be my most hated format that I can really think of right now at the time. Alright, so our next question, and one thing I want to remind you is like there's a lot of questions, so if I don't answer every single question, I apologize. I don't want this video to go too long, so I'm going to try to pill out some of the best questions while trying to answer as most as I can. So Doa Elmadani, so hopefully I pronounced that right, asks, who is my favorite Yu-Gi tuber? Me. No, I'm just kidding. I would say probably either Glasgow YGO, which I know I said I'd like to collab with him earlier, or Kanye West. But I would have to say it's probably either House of Champs or the Card Guys, because I love the content they produce, informative, competitive, and especially with House of Champs sometimes really funny, like Billy Break and those guys. They're really funny guys. You know, Spoofy, all the guys on there, Blair, and I love those guys' channels. They're absolutely amazing. So I would say it's not one specific person actually who's my favorite Yu-Gi tuber, but I would say like Card Guys, Glasgow, you know, House of Champs, those guys probably I have to say for that question. So hopefully that answers it, your question. All right, so our next question comes from Dark Soul. Do you like Dark Souls? That's my question to you. Dark Soul asks, how old am I? Well, that is a good question. And I think one thing I forgot to mention when I made the announcement video is like you guys didn't have to ask like personal, like Yu-Gi-Oh related questions. They could have been like personal questions like about me and myself. But anyways, how old am I? I'm 18 right now. I was born February 27th, 1998. So that's my birthday and my age. So you just got a double banger right there. I'm 18 and we'll be 18 for a couple more months and then I'll be 19. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, my good sir. Ricardo Loera asks, will I be at YCS Anaheim? No, that is too far away. Next question. Alright guys, so we have another question here from Wolf Juggernaut who asks, are you going to be streaming more on Twitch, and is Citadel Trains your favorite deck now? Nice videos, keep up the good work, and congratulations on 3K subscribers. Well, thank you very much, Wolf. Yes, I am going to be streaming more on Twitch. Shameless plug. I am going to be streaming more on Twitch, and you can follow me on Twitch in the link down in the description. Take you right to my Twitch page. You can sauce me a follow. I plan on doing a stream today, actually, when I'm recording this. So if you want to follow me there, you can get notified when I go live. And I might also try to be streaming on YouTube occasionally, because that is also an option. I never streamed on YouTube, so if I stream on YouTube, maybe more of you will get notified, and then I can let you guys know that I usually stream on Twitch. So yes, I will be streaming more in general on Twitch and on YouTube in the future, so hopefully that answers your question as well. Alright, for our next question, he comes from a man named Louis Lima, who says, what made you consider becoming a Yu-Gi tuber? Well, nothing right off the bat, actually. Honestly, when I made my YouTube channel, I had an old YouTube channel which was really stupid and I deleted it. And I made a YouTube channel February 24th, 2014 is when I made this channel. And for 5 or 6 months or so, I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do with it. So I just left it blank and I made like these videos saying like channel ideas and all this crap, and you know, I was like, I want to start a YouTube channel and do something with it because I love YouTube channels. Like I just love YouTube in general. Like I watch more YouTube than I watch TV. Like I watch like, you know, Markiplier, Lobos Jr., Game Grumps, like all those guys, all the big YouTubers. I'm sure most of you guys have your favorite YouTubers as well. But I also, after I made that channel, I started getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, and I remember also looking online for like deck lists and stuff because I'm like, what the hell is this game right now? Because I haven't played it in years and years. And one day I used my iPod to record a deck profile of a deck that literally couldn't even work because I didn't know how the cards worked. And it was like a Dragon Synchro deck profile, which I don't think it's no longer on YouTube. I deleted it a while back because it just doesn't represent the quality that I have now. But that was like one of the first videos I ever uploaded, and I was like, you know what, I'll do Yu-Gi-Oh! I didn't really want to like do Yu-Gi-Oh! Right away. but that's kind of why I do Dark Souls and stuff too. Like, I know most people are here to watch Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's my channel. Like, if I'll post on it what I want to post on it, which the majority is going to be Yu-Gi-Oh, but I do love sharing gameplay with some people, because I know a lot of people who come to my channel for my Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Potheon, all that stuff. You know, they're there for the gameplay too. So I like to cater to both audiences, and it's tough when you get started on one thing for other people to accept you doing anything else, which is why I wanted to integrate video game playthroughs and stuff a little earlier on. I guess it kind of be unacceptable today. I was like, I'm doing playthroughs on my channel, because then people will be like, why are you doing this? I don't know. It's fun to do those things, but kind of got a little off track. But that's kind of what made me consider a YouTuber, is because I was like, it's easy. Now it's not so easy because there's much more effort put into it. But I just wanted to share my ideas about Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's got me to this point, and I'm also able to do video games and stuff for you guys too. So hopefully that answers the question, Lewis. Our next question comes from somebody named the other guys, Rapley. Hopefully I pronounced that right. What is your opinion about the format? I think the format right now is kind of stale. It's been the same for a while. Same deck, still topping. You know, you have your Pendulum still, Magispectors, Metal Foes, Monarch still played somewhat, Domain Monarch, and BA. So I think it's going to change though once ABC comes out, but then everybody's even playing ABC, so that'll kind of get annoying. ABC mirror matches everywhere. So I don't like the format that much. It could be better. But yeah, that's my opinion about it. Alright, next question comes from XMaverick1, who asks, what made you want to play Mermaids, and what do I think of Treetoad's new name? Says, keep doing what you're doing, man. Appreciate that. I most certainly will. What made me want to play Mermaids? I don't know. Nothing out of the ordinary really made me want to make me play Mermaids. I guess the one thing is, like, I kind of remember the deck being played back when it came out and it being really, really good. And I was like, my brother played the deck for a little time too, actually, and he enjoyed it. And I just thought the whole archetype as a whole was really cool, and its history and everything. So I was like, you know, what the hell, I'll try and pick it up. And my friend actually had the whole deck himself, and I traded my Ignite deck, which at the time I was playing Ignites. So if you go back on my channel and see when I was uploading the Ignite stuff, I ended up trading that whole deck for Mermaids before and after this came out. And then it was a really good investment because I rared it out, and it's worth like 10 times more than it was when I got it. So yeah, that is my opinion on Mermaids and what made me want to play it. And what I think of Treetoad's new name, totally awesome. I think it's totally shit. No, it's funny. I like it. I wish they would have kept it Treetoad, but I'll always have a smirk on my face when I say it totally awesome's effect to negate people's stuff. So when I'm negating them, negating all their cards, making them sad, at least they can have a little laugh when I say totally awesome. So yeah, that's my thought on Treetoad's new name. So I hope I answer your questions for you. Alright, for our next question, David Volkmann, who is one of the winners, asks, what is your favorite summoning mechanic, synchro, Xyz, etc., and why? My favorite summoning mechanic, Xyz, synchro, fusion, pendulum. That's a good question. I want to say, you know, it's probably going to be synchro, because I like the way those cards look the most, you know, next to Xyz. I just like synchros. The fact that it needs a tuner, non-tuner, put them together, you get a big monster. And it could be any monster. It doesn't have to matter to what like tuner it is, unless it's a specific tuner it needs, I guess. I don't know. I probably have to say synchros just because they look cool. I don't know. I just like synchros. Xyz are a close second because the ranks go the other way, from left to right. Like you'd think they would, but you know, most stuff goes right to left. They go left to right. I don't know. It's a tie between synchro and Xyz. So hopefully that answers your question, David. Alright, so next up, Stogan Plays asks, what cards would you rarity bump if I could? Well, there's quite a few cards. I would have to say Turge. He only comes as rare, so I'd say super rare or a secret rare Turge. That would look awesome. I know secret rare might be uncalled for, but a super rare would be cool. To match like Gund and Pike to match their counterparts. Mizuchi, just so if those two are rared out, my entire deck has no commons in it. But I also like to see Dante get a rarity bump, and Seer as well, maybe an Alti Seer or Secret Rare. I don't know. Some of the BA stuff would look really good as Secret Rares, I think. I'd like to see Cyframe Lord Omega get a rarity bump, even though that card's already expensive as shit right now. I'd like to see that get a rarity bump. Virgil, maybe? Alti Virgil, if people are playing that. Alti Beatrice. Definitely a rarity bump Beatrice, because a gold Secret Rare is kind of unacceptable. But yeah, so that's some of the cards I think should get rarity bumped. So hopefully that answers your question. Alright, Magma Dragon 12 asks, which monster type would you like to see more support for? Which attribute as well? Honestly, I would say probably like Earth and Rock, because those decks I feel like are just not ever supported too much. I feel like it's always light or dark or water or fire that's always gets like the most support. I'd kind of like to see Rock in that. That's it's actually kind of happening now with Subterror, so that's pretty cool. So hopefully that answers your question, Mr. Magma Dragon 12. Alright, I didn't really want to answer this question, but I guess I will anyways, because it's kind of something I want to bring up. Kenny Baiting asks, how many people do you usually get your locals, and is your locals more competitive with basically all meta, or is it more casual? Thanks, man. Well, basically, our locals used to get like 30 people, 25 to 30 people every week, and then this card shop, like in a half-hour drive away on the thruway, opened up. They started doing free tournaments, and they basically took all of our players, and we have, on average, anywhere from 6 to 8 people tournaments. With very little prize support. The guy who owns the shop is very generous, though, gives us more support than we actually pay for like entries, $5 a person. And it's usually more meta based. Besides maybe 1 or 2 people that are playing non-meta, it's usually mostly really competitive players. We're just loyal to the shop, I guess, and we always come out to support it. So yeah, hopefully our shop can get more support in the future, and we start getting better and better tournaments. We've been doing box tournaments every other Sunday, I think, or every other 2 Sundays, to try to get people back in the doors. Helped a little bit, but not too much, so kind of struggling right now. Hopefully that answers your question, though. Alright, next question comes from Brandon Todd, who asks, my question is, how often do you go to regional events and such? Well, I don't go to like big events that often, because where I live in Buffalo, New York, which I guess if anybody had that question, I live near Buffalo, New York. There aren't really many events around. Like the closest one is, there's a regional coming up this Saturday in Toronto, and it's an hour-and-a-half drive after I get into Canada, which is really far away. And Rochester occasionally has events I can go to, but other than that, it's like Pittsburgh or Ohio, and those are like really just too far away for me to want to go and participate. And I remember a while back we were trying to get an ARG in Buffalo, and it didn't get enough votes, and we lost it to someplace in Texas, which I'm pretty sure they already have a bunch of those there. But I don't go to events that often. I only try to go to the ones that are really close, and I need to like have a confidence in myself that I'll actually do good at that event for me to go. Although I do want to change that in the future. Alright, Got Rice asks, onto this real quick, what do I think of Pendulum decks? I think they're overpowered, but I also think they're fair. One of the most skill-based decks as of recently was Full Power Pepe, when Plushfire and Damage Juggle were at 3, especially in the mirror match. So I think it can be a skillful deck, but its recurability is really, really strong, and it's going to take something really, really powerful to put it in its place. So I don't know what Konami has in store for that. Alright, so next question is actually a really good question. It comes from Samuel Good, who asks, what do I major in, and what do I do for a living? Well, that is a good question. What do I major in? I major in exercise science and sports studies. Currently going through a 4-year program for that. Get my bachelor's in that. I might go for a doctorate in physical therapy. I don't know. It's a very long road to get your doctorate. It's not something you can just sign up for at orientation and just expect to become a doctor after so many years. It takes a tremendous amount of hard work, but exercise science and sports studies, because I love fitness, health, nutrition, all that kind of stuff, which a lot of you guys may not know. So now you know. And what do I do for a living? I'm currently unemployed. I make money off of work study and all your guys' support on YouTube here. I don't make that much, but it's been a little bit more, and I only have you guys to thank for that. All of your support, honestly. Any amount of views on anything, I will always appreciate. So I really have, from the bottom of my heart, like, especially now at 3,000 guys, like, thank you so much for this opportunity. And hopefully someday I want to do this for a living. One of my dream jobs is to be a YouTuber, or just making money off YouTube for enough to live off of that, you know. Would be one of my dream goals, I should say. So hopefully that answers your question, Mr. Samuel Good. Alright, DJ3K Ball asks, am I going to play the new Infernoid, or am I going to play Infernoids when their support is out? Yes, I will. I still have all my Infernoid stuff. So I will be playing Infernoids when the new stuff comes out. Ponluc asks, what was the first deck I've ever played? Photon Galaxy would be the first deck I ever played. I guess you could argue Cyber Dragons, but like the first actual deck that I knew what I was doing with, Photon Galaxy. And what old deck would I like to get support and become meta the most? Photon Galaxy. It's an older support. It's an older deck. Came out in like Photon Shockwave with Galaxy Eyes and Galaxy Knight and Galaxy Wizard. I'd like to see that deck get a good support card. Obviously Soldier's good, but it's being abused in other decks. And number 95 Dark Matter, it was a good card, but it didn't do too much for the archetype itself, which I've said many times in the past. So Galaxy Photon, I'd like to see get more support. All right, next question comes from nray26, but I think I've seen you on Twitch. I could be wrong though. What happened to my Synchro Fusionist deck? I just don't like playing the deck anymore. It's like too tedious, and it sucks to play in a tournament setting for me, because I feel like anytime I play in a tournament setting, I do god awful with it. And it wasn't really ever my deck. It was my brother's deck, who was so gracious enough to let me borrow it, because he actually had all the stuff for it, like the triple Omega, which, as some of you know, that is absolutely ridiculously expensive. He's thinking about selling 2 of them, just so in case anything happens, he can get his money on them now before they get reprinted or hit on the ban list like they did in the OCG. And did I top any big tournaments using my Atlantean Mermaid deck? Top, I went to a Rochester OTS for an OTS obviously to play in. I played Mermaid there, and I got 12th out of 60 people. Ended up finishing X2 in 6 rounds of Swiss. And lost one pivotal game to somebody who ghost triggered me twice in one turn. Well, obviously that can't happen, but that's both my and his fault. So that's as close as I came, is 12th. And another event I went to was the Rochester Regional, which was in 2015, early 2015. Ended up getting, I think, 50th place out of 150 people, which was okay, I guess. Not really, but yeah, so that answers your question, Mr. Enray. Another good question comes from Dmitri Alexandra, who asks, what would be a great new archetype for Konami to create? I think something like the Great Gods. Well, we must be the same person, because that's exactly what I was thinking, honestly, when I was thinking about making archetypes up. For this question, basically, another one of my favorite archetypes I didn't say earlier is Burning Abyss, because Dante's Inferno, written by Dante Alighieri, is absolutely insane. If you've ever read the Inferno and the Divine Comedy, I recommend you read it if you haven't. But if you've read it, you know it's this crazy journey, and it's so detailed to be able to learn about what people actually envisioned hell to be back in the day. And it's actually really interesting to see all the characters who are in the story are now in this archetype. We got Beatrice, Virgil, Dante, and a lot of the Malebranche. Like, they actually use Malebranche in the story, and I think that's really, really cool. And some of their names are actually the same, like Scarmilione is actually in the text. So I would like to see a deck basically revolved around Greek mythology, Greek and Roman mythology. Like, you'd have maybe your boss monster be Zeus, Poseidon, and Ares as some like extra deck monsters, and then for maybe your searchers, you'd have famous scholars like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. It'd kind of be like a spellbook deck, like Blue Boy, and hit the way he looks, but you'd have like a person holding a scroll or something, and it'd be like a level 2, really expensive secret rare with 500 attack and like no defense, but it'd be a really busted searcher. And I'd like to see something like that. So that actually really inspired me, and it's kind of cool that we're kind of thinking the same way, because you know what they say, 2 great minds think alike, my friend. So thank you for that question. Hopefully I answered it. Alright, some guy asked, that's his name, some guy asked, what's the most money you've ever spent on a single card? And the answer is Necroz Bryanak. Back when I sold my binder at the Rochester Regional for $440, I, like an idiot, spent $300 of that on 3 separate copies of Bryanak and 1 Trish that was basically thrown in for free, and it was German, and a German Necroz of Trishla, so I kind of got a deal on it. But $100 is the most I've ever spent on a single card, so not really proud of that, I guess. hopefully that answers your question. Mockingjay 1052 asks, how many copies of Tree Toad and Bahamut Shark am I going to running at landing Mermaid deck? 40 Tree Toads and 40 Bahamut Sharks. No, I'm probably going to run to start, and I hope to get a play set of Tree Toads right off the bat. I'm going to start with just a 1-in-1 ratio and go from there, see if the extra one ever comes up. But Tree Toad can recycle Tree Toad, so maybe 2 Bahamut, 1 Toad. I don't know. Like I said, we'll start with a 1-1 ratio and see how it goes, because the extra deck space is tight. It's tight as fuck, as I'm sure most of you know. But hopefully that answers your question. Alright, so our last question comes from AJ Thelwell, loyal supporter. I know it to be true. Congrats on 3,000, bro. Been here for a while, but we'll continue to support you. Hashtag I want to 10. What is my real name? My real name is Winner Kills. It's Winner Kills. First name Winner, middle name underscore, last name Kills with a Z. I thought you guys would know that. Jesus, no. And my real name is Mike English. Not really too much of a fancy name, Mike. I prefer Mike over anything, but yeah, that's my name, Mike English. So anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for the Q&A. Really appreciate all the questions. Like I said, there's over like 50 freaking questions from you guys, and over 80 plus entrants into the competition. Like I said, TheHannessexy, David Volkmann, Andy999, 809, and TeamMindMaster. You guys are the winners. Sorry to everybody who entered and didn't get to win, but I can only pick 4 of you. And for 4,000 subscribers, you know, maybe I'll give away 8 tins. So the more support, the more we get to do this giveaway. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for 3,000 subscribers, guys. Hope you enjoyed the Q&A. Hope you found some unique about me, some background information. And yeah, appreciate all the support, all the questions, and everything. And as always, guys, Winner Kills signing out. We'll be seeing you in the next one. What's up, guys? Winner Kills. We're coming at you today with another video. And first off, before we go ahead and get started, I just want to go ahead and thank everybody for all the support over the past couple months. Finally hit 100 subscribers, I think last night. I couldn't get around to posting video because, you know, I had to go to bed early, you know, get up for school, and you know how it is. But yeah, 100 subscribers, guys. Thank you so much. Hopefully continue. I can keep continuing what I'm doing. Today I'm making a very special vloggity vlog, and that is because we hit 500 subscribers just a couple days ago. We finally did it, guys. We reached 1,001 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers, guys. I cannot thank you enough for that. That is absolutely incredible. So for this video, guys, I just want to kind of sit down real quick and go ahead and thank each and every 1,002 of you, or however many subs we have right now on the time this video goes up. I want to go ahead and individually thank each and every one of you for subscribing to my channel. Whether you subscribed a long time ago or you're brand new. So guys, Winner Kills here, and we have just hit 2,000 subscribers as of yesterday when this video is being recorded. And I'm extremely grateful for that, and all your guys' continued support on all the videos here on my channel, every single one. And the fact that we broke 2,000 subscribers and continue to climb is absolutely amazing, and I cannot believe the amount of support that you guys have shown and continue to show over this part of 2016 and all of 2015, and I really do appreciate it so much, guys. And I can't believe we're already at 2,007 people. That is, to me, a huge number to know that there's over 2,000 people now that are subscribed to this channel, and that's absolutely nuts. There's like 1,600 people in my entire school, in my high school, and now just about to graduate high school, and knowing that there's almost 400 more people subscribed to my channel than they go to my school is absolutely mind-boggling to me.